Hi, welcome everyone to the Smudging Sage Tarot. As we begin today, let's clear our space with the sage, allowing the smoke to dissolve tension, conflict, or mental noise. The Eight of Swords teaches us the lesson of the mind, but not always gently. The Five of Swords, this card, shows us the aftermath of conflicts and what it means to win at the expense of others. We remain in the Suite of Air, okay? The intellectual realm of thoughts, communication, and truth. The swords cut through illusion, but can also create visions, but also division, okay? When wielded without compassion. So, the meaning of this card, the Five of Swords. The Five of Swords represents conflict, okay? Tension and hollow, or for better saying, empty victory. That kind of victory that leaves you with a bitter taste in your mouth. So it can point to power struggles, arguments, or situations where someone is left feeling hurt, even if another wins, okay? This card asks you to examine your relationship with the competition, pride, and confrontation. It's not just about fighting, it's about what the fight costs, okay? So, the key themes of the Five of Swords are conflict or power struggle, winning at a cost, ego and pride, miscommunication and hurt feelings, reflecting on how we handle disagreements. So, the symbols in these cards are, well, we have a center figure holding swords, okay? The figure appears smug, but the mood is heavy. He has gathered the swords of others, suggesting he has won the battle. Then those two figures walking away represent loss, defeat, or emotional wounds. Their body language shows sadness, not just loss of a fight, you see, but the pain of a disconnection. There is something emotional that goes behind just losing a fight, okay? And then there is this cloudy sky, turbulence in the atmosphere, conflict has stirred up mental and emotional disturbances. In Guided Tarot, this card asks, what have you sacrificed in order to feel right or in control? Tina Gong notes the importance of identifying when you are operating from ego versus integrity. Conflict is something necessary, but not always just. Okay, so in numerology and astrology, in numerology number 5, it's about change, disruption, instability, and challenge. The fives in tarot shake us out of comfort. And in astrology, it's often linked to Venus in Aquarius, okay? So a mix of intellectual detachment and interpersonal tension. It can show a cool or competitive approach to relationship and connection. So it's a little bit a dichotomy there. So what does it mean when this card appears upright, meaning in this position, in a reading? Upright, the Five of Swords suggests that tension is present. You may have experienced an argument, betrayal, or victory that doesn't feel good. This card warns against being overly competitive, dismissive. Oh, when you see this card, it's the picture of the word dismissive. Or sharp with words. Feels awful. Even if you are right, are you being kind? What's the point of being dismissive, competitive, having sharp words, being sharp with your words, when you can express the same identical things in a way that feels good? I know this is the card of things, emotions, words, conversation, acts that feel bad. So, or don't feel good. The advice here is to reflect on the motives behind your actions. If you need to be right, creating unnecessary damage. So, do you really need to be right? Anyway, and create this kind of energy. So this card asks you to choose your battles carefully and to walk away if peace matters more than pride. So in love and relationships, okay, when this card appears in this position, it's about an argument that leads to hurt feelings. One person may be trying to win rather than understand. For example, you say something hurtful in the heat of a fight, just to make a point, and immediately regret the impact. If you have a heart, of course. Then, in work and career, let's say office politics or rivalry may be brewing, okay? Be cautious of gossip or passive aggression. For example, a co-worker takes credit for your idea, and you are left frustrated, but confronting them might escalate the situation unnecessarily. This is an idea, okay? In a personal and spiritual growth, it talks about a realization that ego is influencing your decisions. You begin questioning your need to prove yourself. For example, okay, you reflect on a recent interaction and see that you were more focused on being right than being aligned with your values. Now, let's see the meaning of this card reversed. Reversed, the Five of Swords can suggest avoiding conflicts, seeking solutions, or healing after tension. It may also indicate lingering resentment or regret after a harsh exchange. Alternatively, it would point to giving away your power by avoiding necessary confrontation. The advice here is to seek solution, not revenge. If you are holding onto guilt or shame from past conflicts, now is the time to make amends. Or forgive yourself and let go. Sometimes the persons are not there anymore. So, in reverse, in a love and relationship drawing, it talks about rebuilding after conflicts. Apologize. Apologies may be exchanged. Or clarity is found, So, for example, after a painful argument, both partners come together with open hearts and a willingness to listen. That's why I love to see also the reverse cards, because the meanings are so different, and this card you want in reverse for sure. But unfortunately, many times, at least in my experience, came out upright. Anyway, you will survive in any cases. That's life. In a work and career reading, this card talks about choosing peace over pride. You might walk away from a toxic situation for the sake of your mental health. And for example, you decide not to engage in office drama, even if it means letting go of being right. So, in a personal spiritual growth reading, this card tells you that you are learning to let go of the need for external validation or mental victory. For example, you meditate on a recent disagreement and come to peace with letting others have their own perspective. How beautiful. Before the final words, if you like the content and you want to see more of the Smudging Sage Tarot, please like, share and subscribe. It helps immensely the channel. Thank you. So, the Five of Swords teaches us that how we win matters just as much as if we win. It calls us to examine our communication pride and emotional maturity. Conflict is sometimes unavoidable, okay? But this card asks, at what cost? Whether you have hurt someone, being hurt, or witnessed tension, this is a moment to step back and choose integrity, empathy, and peace. Okay? So, let's watch the bride, let's watch the desire to be right, and in this case, when we see this card, let's opt for a solution that feels good for everybody involved. Okay? Thank you very much. Until next video. Next card is one of my favorite, the Six of Swords. Traveling from troubled water to calm waters. See you. Bye.